Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, welcoming first-timers in the studio. They are a duo, the founder and executive directors of the Diaz Music Institute. He is the founder. Please welcome Mr. Jose Diaz. Good morning, sir.
Hello. How you doing, KG?
Doing well. Good to see you. And she is the executive director of the Diaz Music Institute, Elizabeth Diaz.
Hello,
good morning.
How are you?
And she is the reason why this whole union came about. She used to host this program some years ago here on 97.9 The Box. Please welcome my friend, Ayana Mack.
It is so good to be home.
Man, listen here. So, Ayana, you had called me about and was telling me about the Diaz Music Institute and the great things that they're doing in the community. As a matter of fact, your son is a member of the school. And I just love what you were telling me, and you got me in touch with Elizabeth. I was like, yo, let's have them on. So first, tell us about the Diaz Music Institute.
Well, our mission is actually to provide access and create opportunities for kids to develop careers in the music industry. So we're wanting to open doors and provide access to kids who have these dreams of doing something in the industry, whether it's performing or doing something behind the scenes like promoting or becoming a manager or dealing with publishing, or if it's studio engineering. We don't care what it is. We want to provide access and develop programs to help them develop that part of their vision and the dream.
Nice. And the things that you all offer. What do you all offer there?
Well, at this point, we're offering performances. We're offering lessons in terms of developing their skill sets and becoming a very strong musician, instrumentalist, vocalist. We actually create different events where they have to back up Grammy-nominated artists, renowned musicians, and put them in a platform where they have to up their game and behave like a pro musician in this situation. So that way they have to understand what it takes to develop that level. So rehearsals are very, very strict, very stringent. There's high expectations for them. And I will add, there's no audition for any student to come into the program. But the thing is that they have to develop to the level of performance to be able to perform. So it's totally on them in terms of what the outcome of performance is. So we're not going to keep anybody out, but it's up to them to develop the skill sets that are necessary to perform at a very high level.
Nice. And Elizabeth, how has it been kind of overseeing this, being the executive director of the Diaz Music Institute?
A challenge.
Full-time job.
Full-time job. Yes. So you deal with parents and other band directors and the students, of course, and making sure that everybody's on top of everything. You know, we try to keep up with not only their music part, but since we're an after-school program, we make sure that they're actually doing well in school. Try to make sure that they're doing well in school. And we'll ask them, you know, I typically say, hey, bring me your report card. Let's see what's going on and how's this working. And if they are not up to par with grades, we actually ask them to kind of, you know, let's focus on education again. And then you can come back and do your music because that's really, really important to us, is making sure that they all have some sort of great educational background behind them.
And I love that it is an after-school program, because that is a term that I don't hear anymore. They have taken so many programs and activities out of the schools that leave these kids, as the conversation that we were having off air, you know, outside on the streets doing nothing, which will then probably lead to them being in the wrong place, wrong time, or doing something stupid, which in turn will get them in the juvenile criminal justice system, which rolls over into the criminal justice system. Just that whole, I mean, school to prison pipeline. I mean, it truly is a pipeline. So, Ayanna, how did you find out about Diaz Music Institute, and what made you want to enroll your son, Alon, in it?
So my son plays piano and has been playing ever since first grade. And he's really serious about developing his craft. And so we try to find the best teachers. At one point, he had 2 teachers teaching him simultaneously. And then we moved him to the Houston Sound Academy, where his instructor there just one day out of the blue was like, I want to tell you guys about the Diaz Music Institute. And I was like, okay, well, what's that? And he was like, I think Alon would be a good fit for them. It's free. I was like, ain't nothing free.
Right.
Ain't nothing free. Ain't nothing free. And he was like, no, it is free. And their pianist that they had, how long was your pianist with you?
The pianist that we had, well, he's a junior now, and he came to me when he was 11 years old.
So now this pianist had, school responsibilities that he needed to tend to and couldn't just dedicate as much time as he needed to. Like Mr. Jose said, like Mr. Diaz said, these rehearsals, you have to be there. He's not charging you.
Right.
And so the request is that you're there and you learn the music and you take it seriously, because he dedicates a lot of time to this. And so I went one Sunday, because that's when the rehearsals are, Sundays from 5 to 7, showed up with my son. I was not able to go into the rehearsal. You know me, KG. I'm a helicopter mom. Right. And so I had to park on the side. Yeah, I'm a drone mom. So I wasn't able to see him rehearse. But it's so funny, because as I was speaking to Miss Diaz about what I wanted Alon to work on, Mr. Diaz walked in. And so this had been an hour into the rehearsal. Mr. Diaz walks in and I'm like, how's he doing? And I was just telling Miss Diaz he needs to work on his music and his timing. And he comes in and says, he's good. He needs to work on his music and his timing, but I think that he'll, and I was like, wow, okay, this is where we need to be. And so I now have my lessons that I pay for that complement and that teaches my son, one-on-one. And then but then the experience of working with a group and being accountable to a group and just learning how to work with a team, my son's music teacher recommended him, and I think you taught my son's music teacher.
Wow. That's amazing. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Jose and Elizabeth Diaz from the Diaz Music Institute, along with Ayanna Mack, who is a parent whose son is a member of the Diaz Music Institute. This is amazing, and the most important thing is that it's free 99. Free 99?
Are you out of your mind?
I mean, I'm trying to tell you that within itself is something to really talk about. It is free. So my parents listening, if you have a child who plays an instrument, or you just see the aspiration in them, how can they get in touch with you all?
We have a website. It's diazmusicinstitute.org. There's also, they can call us at 832-858-5855 and send us an email or Facebook. They can also follow, Jose has a Facebook also. It's Jose Antonio Diaz on Facebook. And we have all of our information up there for anybody that's wanting to come and join us.
Indeed. And you guys got some events that are coming up, yes?
Well, we just had an event yesterday. It was the first Holiday Latin Jazz Festival featuring Poncho Sanchez, and it was just amazing. It's just real inspiring to just watch students just, get up there and have this incredible music dialogue with a legendary musician, and the crowd went crazy because they just couldn't believe that kids could play at that particular level and be able to hang with a legend. And the other 2 artists that were performing with us, Jose Valentino, an amazing multi-instrumentalist, and of course, Poncho's musical director, Francisco Torres, on trombone, was an amazing addition. So it was just an incredibly good time. And so we also have annually that we do a show in March at the Miller Outdoor Theater. It's called Noche Caliente, and we typically bring in an artist who's in the salsa genre, and that's, of course, a free event. And also the students are the ones that back up that particular artist. And then we also have an incredible summer workshop that we do. And unfortunately, at that particular event, we do have to charge a small fee because we bring in a lot of teachers to work with the students. So we're hoping that we can, have a huge sponsor that would come in. If we can get a huge sponsor to come in that would pay for it, then we can offer this particular workshop for free for kids as well. And if anything, we may just ask that they pay a small registration fee, just so that we know that there's a commitment there to come. And even if the nominal registration fee becomes a issue, we're still gonna work it out. But we just feel like in order for people to really appreciate something has to be given up. So
that's right.
if you don't have money, that's cool. You got time. Yeah. We'll ask time from you and ask you to come in and do something. We just feel that that's one of the ways that we can keep things moving forward. Our whole mission is to create this multi-tier kind of mentorship program, because what we like to do, besides bringing in these incredible people who are phenomenal musicians or people in the community who are just at the top of the game that can come in and talk to students about the various careers that they have in the music industry, within the institute we encourage our students to help each other, so that way we have this community of philanthropy that we're developing within our own little system here. Because and one thing that I tell students is that when you teach somebody how to do something, you are reinforcing that information to yourself tenfold. Right. Yeah. So it's always a beautiful thing to share information, and that's something that we all should keep doing, because we have to remind ourselves that those of us that became successful, we became successful because there was a whole community behind us, helping us. Mm-hmm. And we're also in the planning stages of two incredible events. I don't know how much I should say about it, but you know what? I'm going to turn it over to Ayana and Elizabeth to talk about it, because they're the ones that came to me. It's going to be a great idea, Jose, if we do this. So y'all talk about the great idea.
So we are right now in the very beginning stages of hosting an amazing show that Ayana and I feel that it would be great to have different people come out, and we're hoping that you will also come out and sing for us.
Dun, 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 on the spot.
Absolutely. Everyone heard it. He said yes. So if you don't see him there, you guys can come and talk to him.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'll definitely be there.
To host an event where we would raise funds for the organization, and we're looking at March 1st.
Okay.
We're still kind of waiting for the verification on the space. So once we get the location, we will send everybody that information. But what we're wanting to do...
Singing with the Stars, Houston.
Yes. Oh, nice.
And so this will be an opportunity for people with beautiful voices. I know someone with a beautiful voice. I may have gone karaoke a few times with someone in this room that has a beautiful voice.
His voice is extremely resonant.
It is. Oh, and when he sings, he has this lower registry that he speaks in, but he can hit these highs like nobody's business. So, yes, we are looking forward to inviting different media personalities with their beautiful voices and their beautiful stage presence and talents to come and sing with these kids that will back you up. And when I say back you up, we are talking horn section, guitars, congos, bongos. No, how many kids are in the band?
Oh, we're talking about big band. We're talking about 24 kids.
This is a 24 set band.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. So
my God. Oh my God.
No, and so we're gonna give you.
Y'all might have to constrain me, because a live band, all of that, like, I don't know, the Holy Spirit might hit me. I'm like, yo,
that's okay. That's exactly what we want.
That energy, like, there's nothing like performing with a live band.
With a 24-piece band.
Horn section, all that, percussion's all.
Yes.
And they're going to be on point.
Stop playing with me.
If you want to see just how good they are, there's a couple of videos of them online right now at YouTube. You can look up Diaz Music Institute, and you can see the production. I mean, and I just got to tell you, Mr. Diaz, just how much he pours into these kids, and you're leaving out a lot of stuff about yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and say some things about you. Mr. Diaz, weren't you nominated for a Grammy Because of your teaching?
Yeah, I was fortunate to be nominated for the Grammy Music Educator Award, and I was one of the top 10 finalists for 2017.
Oh, that's amazing.
And not only that, like some of the kids that have come out of this program, who's the one that's with Stevie Wonder now?
Jordan Donald plays alto saxophone. Yeah.
And then we have another one, a couple working with Beyonce. I mean,
Marcy Chopper was a performer with Beyonce, and we have Jabari Johnson, who's currently the guitarist for TD Jakes up in Dallas.
So this is a free program that is producing results. True results.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
Free. All you have to do is put in the time and make sure you're there and take this seriously. So I know people hear free and they're like, oh, yeah, this is for me. No, it takes time. It takes time. You have to be there. Your child has to be there. And these rehearsals are very important. But if you put in the time, Mr. Diaz will put in his and you'll see results. And that is the reason why so, initially I was telling you, oh, free, whatever, ain't nothing free. And then I went and I checked them out and I saw what they were doing. And I've been volunteering my time to help them because I'm like, wow, people need to know about this and they need to know just the possibilities. Not everybody can go to HSPVA. Not everybody can afford private lessons, but that doesn't mean that your talent should be denied. And there are certain angels on earth. You just got to find them sometimes.
That's right, yeah.
And this is one of those situations where it's like, wow, there's somebody here that's willing to cultivate your talent if you just put in the time.
Yeah. Well, listen here. I don't think that you'll probably have any problems with sponsors. I mean, we're going to get this out here as much as we can because just the fact that you are pouring in your time and energy and resources to help these kids further on with what they love to do and end up playing saxophone for Stevie Wonder, percussion for Beyonce, and bass for TD Jakes. I don't think you'll have any problem with some sponsorships because I think that corporations are looking for things like that, especially to know that it is free.
Gratis.
Yes.
And and one more thing too, with the Latin jazz, with the African American community, we're starting to see people like Amara La Negra, and we're starting to see the conversion of, Latino and just how the African culture and Latino culture are merged together. And this is a great opportunity. If that's not something that you're aware of, come out to the shows and learn about Afro-Latino music and that culture. And it's a really beautiful thing. It's teaching kids, it's exposing them to culture, it's exposing them to just artists that they would not be able to get next to. And these artists are taking their time to pour into these children too. And if your child is really serious about building their musical resume, doesn't hurt to say, oh, well, I've played with Pancho Sanchez, I've played with Brenda K. Starr, I've played with, whoever else, Sheila E., if we can get her. Hey, Sheila, call me, girl.
We know you'll be here.
That is absolutely amazing. All of the info is available at diazmusicinstitute.org. And I am just so full. Like, this is so great. This is so amazing. I am down for the singing with the Houston Stars. I'm saying that publicly. You go ahead and put me down.
And it's in Spanish.
Selection is I'm willing to learn. I love a challenge.
We will have rehearsals for you too.
I love a challenge. Yeah. So
so cool.
Oh, it'll be in Spanish.
Yes, I'll help you.
Dope.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do a duet.
I'm on the radio.
Listen, guys, we took up the whole 20-minute segment. I love it. Jose Diaz, Elizabeth Diaz, the founder and executive director, respectively, of Diaz Music Institute. Man, this is amazing. Thank you all for coming on the program. And this won't be the last time. I mean, we're going to continue to show our support and help get you guys out there. Ayana, baby, I love you like cook food.
I love you too. And anytime I come across amazing people with good hearts, I got to tell you about them. We got to tell the world about them.
Yes, indeed. So thank you all so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, KG.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.